I'ma try to box you up, but you just can't. Don't be doing shit.
Now, I know y'all been going around. Y'all been seeing what's going on around Houston. Really national news, if not global and world news. But AstroWorld, man. Travis Scott, you know, you recently had a festival in Houston. It went haywire. You know, it's a lot of theories going on. That's why we glad we got someone close to the mayor's office.
Oh, yeah.
Sylvester Stone, you know, he was speaking on a lot of this stuff. So can you tell us what's the mindset like?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I'm speaking on behalf of Jalen Wingfield, not Sylvester Stone. I want to make that known right now. But in my opinion of it all, like I understand where a lot of people's frustration is. Like, don't get me wrong. I think that in this event, you know, a lot of people need to be held accountable. Mm-hmm. The one thing that I'm frustrated with though is like when looking at this like event, people like tend to like place blame, and not necessarily at the wrong places, but I guess like not necessarily do the proper research and facts in order to sit here and place blame. Like for example, like, you know, like I'll stalk the accounts personally just because like, you know, I'm sure as you know, like social media, like I stalk everything. Like I'll be like, okay, well, who said this, who said that? And it's like people like getting on the mayor or like getting on HPD or the fire department and they saying like, y'all didn't do much, y'all didn't do enough. And I'm like, okay, well, granted, like, yes, it happened in the city of Houston, but like
y'all can't control
that.
everything.
You can't even control. But not only that, like the venue that it was at, like that wasn't put on through the city of Houston, like special event. That was put on by the Harris County because NRG is a Harris County facility. Yeah. So granted, like when the mayor gave the press conference, obviously he's gonna give a press conference because it happened in the city. It's in, you know, he's the mayor of that city and he cares. Yeah. But he wasn't in charge of this event, and I feel like a lot of people don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
So I mean, and that's what I'm saying, like. You got people sitting here and be like, oh, well, like, you know, mayor, like, this is all your fault, yada, yada, yada. And, like, things definitely could have been, you know, changed or altered. You definitely could have done things a lot better. But to sit here and point blame and just be like, okay, well, y'all didn't do enough. Y'all didn't do this. Y'all just don't care. I mean, that's just obviously not true, in my opinion, though.
You feel like Travis Scott played any part in it?
I feel like all of them kind of did, for real. Like, I'm not saying the city and shit. I honestly don't think the city has anything to do with that other than like the place it was at, for real. I think that happened because people be throwing festivals because festivals are cheap, feel me? And then I saw something that they didn't hire enough people. It wasn't enough water and like, and I'm not
medical
gonna lie,
equipment.
Yeah, and then like all that on top of the fact that he was on the stage, and I'm not like, I just feel like anybody, if you just in like, even him being like the artist on the stage, you're just seeing people go through shit and like getting passed out and shit. And I feel like you should just want to stop it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
no, I definitely agree.
I feel like.
And I definitely agree with that. I'd also have to say even like his production staff. Like I was watching some of the videos, like I seen some on TikTok, Twitter, where like they go to like the cameraman and was like, "Yo, like people are dying."
Like,
and the cameraman
on some joking shit, or
no, like no, like there was
this
this one girl who actually like climbed up on stage, like the cameraman. She was like filming Travis Scott. She was like, "Yo, like stop, tell him to stop the show. People are passed out, people are dying." And like the cameraman basically like shooed her away and was like, "Nah, like ain't nobody got time for that." And like it's stuff like that where it's like you see that and you're like, okay, well that's production's fault. And then on top of that, like I will say, granted, like Travis does have you know, he needs to be held accountable because I do feel like part of that is his responsibility. It's kind of like you said, like you see people fall and you don't want to stop. That's a problem. Yeah. But I was like, also like one thing that I've constantly seen people not talk about is like, granted, the people that were in the crowd, like the actual people, like that was like, you know, raving, shuffling it. Like, don't get me wrong, it's a concert. Travis Scott is not like a country, you know.
Yeah, he didn't do that.
So like, I get it. Like, you know, the mosh pits, like I get it. Like his style of rap is like kind of like that hardcore, like yada,
that's kind of what he brought up.
That's his genre, yeah. But like the thing about it is, you buy a concert or you buy a ticket to a concert, and you know, some people buy the ticket because they enjoy the music. They just want to chill, like they'll jump up and down. They're not expected to be like forming this mosh pit or be put into the mosh pit.
People at the concerts got to understand that too. Not everybody on that mosh pit. I was at the Lil Baby and Dirk one, and they was trying to get that going. I'm like, no,
not everybody with that.
I think what's the craziest about that Travis Scott thing though is like what really I think doesn't sit right with me, I guess, is how. So the first time he threw that shit, they broke down the fences, right? Mm-hmm. So the second time, you at least, bro, like get stronger fences.
Like you need to up your security, something.
Like, 2 fences or something, bro. Like
barbed wire around them, like something.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like there was nothing to like prevent it from happening again. It's almost like it's almost like it was like a part of it. Like it's like you're supposed to break in. Type shit.
Yeah, I heard
seen that shit with the injecting too. That thing's weird.
I was gonna get on that too. Yeah. So it was people been saying, or they saying that a police officer was injected, and then they're saying people were passing out fake pills laced with fentanyl. Now, with some conspiracy theories going on that people are making this up to cover up for Travis Scott, and they trying to place the deaths on other things. How do y'all feel about that?
I think I don't know if the injection thing is true or not, but I saw like the chief of police speak on it, and then I saw there was like, obviously people could lie when they're talking to like TMZ and shit, but there was accounts of people saying that people were getting stabbed, and then even the police said it. So it's like, I just hope they say something about that. Like they can't just not say nothing about that.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't necessarily, my opinion, I don't really agree with the conspiracy theories because like I've been seeing people taking a stretch like, oh my God, Travis has wings at the show. Like, do y'all see them wings?
They said
they sacrifice. That's when I go ahead and shut the conversation down. I'll be like, go ahead, sweetie, sit down. I'm not.
Y'all doing too much.
But I mean, and even in case like I think the whole thing with like the injecting stuff, like you got to think like, in my opinion, I don't necessarily think it's lies. And once again, this isn't me being biased, but it's just me being realistic. You're at a concert, like come on now, like. Drugs not being a thing at a concert, that's even for people who don't do drugs, like
they
people
do it
say
for the
like,
concert.
that's what I'm saying. They'll do it for the concert. They'll be like, oh, like yeah, I'm gonna take a line of coke. Oh yeah, I'm
Molly.
gonna take So I wouldn't be like, I'm not, hearing that officer was injected or people were injected or given like lace pills. Like I'm not shocked by that because like,
not at all.
people do that at parties. You know what I'm saying? People lace stuff at parties. So you think that they're not gonna lace something at a concert, bro? It's like concert, 50,000 people, Travis Scott concert. Come on.
I think what was super bad too was like really like after all the people broke in, they should have did some because somebody could have had like a gun or some shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like that could have been way worse.
And that's what I'm saying. Like there definitely should have been like there's things that should have been changed. You know what I'm saying? Like there's definitely things like, and that's what the chief of police said as well. Like he said that. They broke down the fence. He said they got it under control very quickly. So he said he didn't think it was a reason that he didn't think
shut
it was
it down.
enough reason to shut it down. And I also saw somebody else's take where it was like, y'all think about it. If they would have shut it down like automatically off rip,
It might have been even worse.
It might have been,
people might have been started tweaking.
Exactly. And that's the thing. So it's kind of like it almost has you wondering like, could it really have been preventable at the end of the day? Like, yes, there could have been things done to, stop the events from happening from these 8 people dying and then, 100
talking
people.
about like after it already started.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And it's like, but it's like, you end the concert early, people might be tweaking.
Yeah.
Towards the end, people are still tweaking.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's so much that goes into it and so much that plays. Yeah. But,
I think they just weren't trying to spend all that bread on people or something.
Yeah. I mean, they should have, like I said, Travis Scott should have
been more people.
Right. And his apology video, I don't know if you saw his apology, bro. They ripping that man. They
He's
said
not even crying, bro. He's not even crying, bro.
They said, bro, somebody screenshotted him doing this, and it was like, when my teacher catch me cheating, like that. There was like another one who was like, me eating my boss. Yeah, my head kind of hurt. I was so dead. I'm like, bro, like you got to do better than that. Like it just, but that's social media. Yeah, it's just like. And that's the thing is like I can't tell if he's actually sorry or not, or if it's like a thing where it's like, okay, well, oh crap,
you got
I gotta say something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I feel
so
like
it's
I'd be sadder if I had like 8 people died on my shit.
Yeah, I most definitely will, because like at that point, like you would feel somewhat responsible.
Yeah.
Like you should feel responsible. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was do y'all think Travis Scott can bounce back from this, or do y'all think his career is, I ain't gonna say over, but can it recover from this?
I think if somebody has enough bread to like, because I know it's probably hard to sue him because like people like Live Nation put it on, right, and he has like a record label and all that shit. But I think if somebody has enough bread, then they'll like try to make it the end of him, because 8 people died and that's all they're saying.
He definitely getting some lawsuits.
Like if somebody wants to make the end of him and they have enough to do that, then they probably will.
I think in terms of making him. In terms of money wise, absolutely. Because like you said, like I feel like he definitely gonna get some lawsuits.
Yeah,
he gonna be straight either way. It's Travis Scott. In terms of him being ended, like in a sense, like almost like cancel culture. I feel like I feel like you have a crowd of people who are like not gonna blame Travis Scott regardless of what happened. Yeah, you have some people who are like, no, screw you. So I think, and to be in all honesty, like, and not to say that I don't care in the slightest, but I think it'll be like any other event where it'll brush over. And it shouldn't be that way. I hope we learn from this, like going further, whether it's at Houston, whether it's in Atlanta, whether it's in Florida, whatever the case may be. But it's hard to say with an artist like that because you have so many people that are backing him, but then you have
Kardashians. Like, it's like he with them
he
now. It's like
you
gonna like it's like I don't know. I know a lot of people been talking about like Travis will never recover, this and that, he'll never. I'm like, I don't know. Like I feel like I could people still support R. Kelly, bro. People still support Bill Cosby. Like I don't even know if all this story if they did it or not, but it's been worse things that celebrities have done and they've been able to bounce back from it. So I'm like, why not Travis?
If you support R. Kelly, don't talk to me. Go ahead and get that in the book right now.
You was trying to say something?
Nah, it probably wasn't 30.
Wait, what you say?
It probably wasn't 30. It's probably like 10.
Oh, you talking about for Bill? Oh, I was lost. Yeah.
This man here is a menace. It's a menace.
I done tried to box you up, but you just can't. Don't be doing shit. She just suck my dick and call me babe. Every bitch gon' give me neck and call me babe. I'm that young nigga and I'm on the way.